Well, good Friday morning. I promised you yesterday when we were in the closet that I would be joined by my beautiful mother. Hi, Mom.
Good morning.
So, we're going to be talking about the importance of rekindling those relationships, parental and children. And if you are estranged, I'm hoping that something that she and I say today might put that back on course. Look, you only have one mama and one papa, or you get blessed maybe and you've got a in-law, or you're blessed and you have a step. But from a blood related standpoint, one mother. Maybe it's an adopted mom that you
Yes.
have. You can consider that also to be your mom and dad. And maybe you never find out who your blood mother or father is. But I want you to have some connection to that person who has guided you. And even if you say, I didn't have the best upbringing, well, let's think, is there a way to find some happiness within you? Because that's the biggest thing I want you to get today. It's 7:01 in the morning. It's the Real Monica Adams Show. I'm Monica Adams. Quentin. This is Jacqueline Adams, or Jackie. You can call her Mama Jackie. I'll let you all adopt her. If you have any questions for her or myself throughout the show, just put them in the comments. We'll be checking in on those for you. We want to get right to the news that I want you to understand, the news you can use. As we now have light, there's a lot of assessing that's going to take place. And we're going to talk about all of that. But let's discuss what happened yesterday with our aspiring meteorologist, Beckett Moore. First of all, good morning, Beckett. Happy Friday. It's
Hey, good
the
morning. Happy Friday.
Thank you. It's damage after the storm, right? A lot of people are assessing what took place. Do we actually have confirmed tornadoes? I know Athensville, is it Athensville area that actually had some video of a tornado that actually touched the ground?
I think you're cutting in and out a little bit, but yeah, I don't think we did have a tornado touch the ground in the immediate St. Louis metro from looking at the storm reports. We did have one to the north into Illinois, but this is just one of the photos I took after we had those storms come through. And this is called mammatus clouds. And this is from descending air in the updraft of a storm in the thunderstorm cloud. It's called a cumulonimbus cloud. And within that cloud, we get that descending air, creating this kind of pocket of mammatus clouds. That's what you call it, and kind of looks like puffy cotton candy. Very cool right there. And yeah, talking about the storm reports, we did not get any tornado reports, but a couple of damaging wind reports, especially on that storm down south. We have one hail report, but mainly just some high wind, damaging wind reports, and one tornado report, but that was way north of the city.
Right. And so the mammatus clouds, that's what I was trying to figure out. Your mom typed it in last night when we went live. That's actually what's behind me. And a lot of people, Beckett, were posting these. They were calling them cartoon clouds or dimple clouds. They were like, everybody was asking, what
Yeah,
in the world are these clouds? Because they had never seen them before. They're fascinating looking.
they
Yeah.
really are, for sure. One of my favorites, for sure.
Yeah, your mom was saying that you were out there snapping some photos. People are saying they're glad to see that you're not grounded anymore. What did you do, Beckett?
Well, we were like carrying boxes up because we're moving, and I did not really want to carry the boxes up. We basically have a ton of Christmas decorations in
Uh-huh.
our basement, and we walked down there, and my mom goes, "We're carrying up all the Christmas decorations," and it kind of went from there.
This is so real, folks. So, if you didn't see last night, I was checking in on all of you during the storm, making sure you were all okay. And Beckett's mom, Jill, had signed in and she's like, I just gave him his phone back so he could say hi. And I was like, oh, Screech, what happened? And she's like, you know what? He's still a 14-year-old boy, and I'm going to ground him from his phone.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
love that. Well, this is the thing. There are 10 different areas that are going to be examined today by the National Weather Service to determine, was it in fact a tornado? Was it straight line winds? Things like that. But what we can say, and I'm going to go through and show you these pictures after Beckett's report, a lot of power lines down, trees in houses. Beckett, I don't know if you saw on Channel 4 this morning or last night, there was a branch of a tree, pretty
Yes.
significant, that fell straight through the roof and into their bedroom.
Landed.
Really, I
Oh,
did not
yes.
see that.
Thankfully,
That's
nobody was injured in
incredible.
that. But oh my, that was one of the craziest things I saw. And
Yeah.
then for those of you that are familiar with Brookdale Farms, right there in that St. Louis
Uh,
County, Jefferson
yeah.
County line, that had the roof torn off of it. People
Oh
were
wow.
there practicing for like a rehearsal dinner, and
Oh,
they were supposed to have their event tonight. So that's going to be interesting to talk about. But yeah, the biggest thing is, I don't know, have you heard of any significant injuries?
No, I have not.
Good. Yes. So that's the positive at all. And then the other thing, Beckett, I'm going to show pictures in just a second about what happened after the storm.
Yeah.
So many beautiful double rainbows that
Yeah.
are all over the place that people were taking and sending them into the news station. So that was pretty. So that's kind of significant of what we talk about in life. There's storms that are within us professionally, personally, and there's always the gorgeous thing that's coming afterwards that we're all looking for, right?
Yeah,
So, yeah,
exactly.
so let's break this down. Again, talking about what happened yesterday and then now afterwards, picking up the damage and then looking for better days ahead.
Yeah, we definitely did have a good amount of storm reports yesterday, like we just talked about. Mainly those damaging wind reports, as you can see, down into South County. Definitely those trees falling down, power lines as well. So we're going to have to clean that up in the areas that were affected here this weekend and the coming weeks. Now, the NWS, they do need more storm reports since the storms are gone. They need more storm reports so they can go out and survey this, survey those areas where there might have been a tornado. So please send in those storm reports, specific location, time, damage occurred, type in severity of damage, pictures, videos, and send that into the NWS if you can, because they would really appreciate that. I know that for sure. Now, our weather schedule for today, moving on to today and into the coming days, 48 degrees this morning, mostly sunny. For context, 62 this afternoon. That was our morning temperature yesterday. So we have really dropped down, because 62 is going to be our high today in St. Louis. That rain really dropped those temperatures. That cold front came through, and it's definitely going to be a lot chillier. Going to want to get back those hoodies and light jackets, but still, we're going to have that sun around today, but 62, a lot cooler than yesterday. 7-day outlook, 62 today. Mostly sunny skies, low of 44 tonight. So definitely getting chilly as we go into the nighttime hours, into the evening. 58 degrees tomorrow. Likely not even getting to 60 tomorrow. We may, but I wouldn't be surprised if we get only around 58, 59 degrees. Mostly sunny skies, low of 40. A lot of sun going to be around. That's the main thing, but it's also going to be cooler. 60 degrees, mostly sunny skies there on Sunday. And then moving into Monday, that's when we're going to be starting to warm up early next week. 68 degrees, sunny skies. Tuesday, that's when our next rain chance is going to be. Likely just a couple sprinkles, some showers, nothing like a washout or anything like that we experienced yesterday, but 75 degrees. So really warming up Tuesday. And then Wednesday, mostly sunny, 67, and then back into the 70s on Thursday.
Up and down and up and down,
Yeah.
but we are so glad to be past what we all experienced yesterday. Again, might see some rain in the future, but hopefully nothing like yesterday. But thank you, by the way, because Beckett nailed it. He said, I want to come back on with you because we've got some pretty serious weather. And I was like, yes, absolutely. Somebody just gave you an incredible compliment, and she said he has a great future as a meteorologist. That's from Kelly Griffin. So
Thank
I want
you.
to pass these along to you. Yes. Beckett, thank you. I'm so glad that you and your family are safe. And as you leave us, remember, always respect your mama.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
Have a great Friday and into the weekend, Becca. Thank you so much.
You too.
That's Beckett Moore. By the way, go back and watch that. If you didn't, there were a ton of people on last night that were watching she and I and Tessa and Adelaide. We were in the closet. And it was funny because Carrie signed on and said, hey, this is about the time last year that you started this. And I thought, well, maybe this is just an annual thing. We're just going to meet in the closet once a year, checking in on you. I don't want severe weather to be the cause of that, but
just getting.
let's just get in the closet and just have some fun together. Yes. So all of you that are signing on, please let me know that you're all safe, that your family's safe, that your friends are safe, etc. What we're going to do, we're going to take a quick break. And when we come back, I'm going to show you some of the photos that came in, courtesy of KMOV and a lot of their viewers. Grab some of the photos that they had on their website. I'll show you that. We've got some news you can use. Are you a Taylor Swift fan? Uh-oh, what's the news about her today? Also very proud for one of our hotels. You don't know which one just yet, listed in the top 100 hotels in the country.
Oh,
and it's a newer hotel. I've been there. They've got a really cool restaurant and bar area. Pretty neat for like photo shoots for models, etc. Yeah, I've been there. We're going to talk about that as well. We'll get into some sports news, all of that coming up for you next.
Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com.
All right, welcome back. It's a Friday. It's 10 after 7, and this is when we really start to get into our topic of the day, which we will, but I want to talk about some news you can use. So if you haven't seen, and maybe you are very, very lucky that you didn't have any damage, this is Brookdale Farms. It's in that Eureka area. That's what a lot of people consider it to be, but it's really on the line of northern St. Louis County, St. Louis County, northern Jefferson County. And Brookdale Farms, phenomenal place for people to have their rehearsal dinners, their weddings, etc. Such a cool place. Now, here's the great thing is that nobody was injured, but there were people there when that roof was ripped off. Can you believe that? Yeah. But they got everybody to safety. Now, what I don't know is what's going to happen for their event that they had tonight. Yes. So that would be interesting to find out. I know, there's always these catastrophic things that can happen that suddenly change the course of your wedding or your reception, etc. So a lot of this, trees uprooted, branches down, power lines down. In fact, at the height of the storm, about 10 o'clock last night, it's the last time that I checked in, then I went to bed, but there were on the Missouri side and the Illinois side, 20,000 people without power. So I'm hoping a lot of you have had that back on today, but some people I think are still having issues with that. But yeah, those trees, I mean, that's the force of Mother Nature. We're getting ready to celebrate Earth Day, by the way, on Monday. Be kind to us, Mother Nature. Look at these pictures. These are all, by the way, from viewers of KMOV, and I took those from their website this morning. Some of those in the Illinois area, some of those in Jefferson County, throughout West County. Look at that cloud. I mean, this is when people are seeing that overhead, especially these. This is when you say that's got to be a tornado. But again, the National Weather Service will make that determination today, focusing in on 10 different areas as to whether or not they were, in fact, tornadoes. Now, I did hear, those are those cartoon clouds. That's what people were calling them. Isn't that the one on the left is beautiful? Look at the sky. That was the biggest thing that we saw, how ominous the sky looks, the coloring that happens, the stillness. That's all very dangerous, right?
Eerie, scary, and that. Yes.
Yeah. But then this is what happened after the storm moved through. How many of you took pictures similar to this? Rainbows, double rainbows. Look at the bottom one. I always say that that's God's rays, right? Oh my gosh, it's just so pretty. And somebody, well, actually several people, I'll just say somebody, there were a lot of people that took pictures of the rainbow with lightning in it.
Yes.
Now that was cool. Some videos that you'll find also probably online. A lot of people get their news, like right now, through Facebook, through TikTok, through Instagram, etc. And you'll probably see a lot of those posted if you didn't already see them last night. But yes, this is what happens, is that there's always better days ahead, the rainbow after the storm. So I'm hoping that all of you are okay. We'll look through some of the comments before we get into the relationship aspect of parents and children. I mentioned if you were a Taylor Swift fan, her album comes out today. Oh, Swifties. Are you a Taylor Swift fan?
I don't really know that I could pick out a song of hers, but she's cute and she's very energetic,
Yes.
And
I used to not be a fan because she was such a male basher in her songs. And
right.
I was not a fan of that.
That was why I didn't really like her, But
I mean, I like. So there's a lot of parents that say they think she's, and again, I used to question this. They thought she was a good role model for their younger girls. And I was like, well, not the male bashing aspect though. Don't do that to the guys. Right? I think that's gotten better. Is she still with Kelsey, by the way?
As far as I know.
So a lot of people thought that was a publicity stunt. I don't know. We don't know. We think we know the Hollywood elites. But anyway, if you're a fan of Taylor Swift, you've been waiting for this album to come out. The other thing is congratulations to 21C Hotel, which is down near Washington Avenue. It's a really gorgeous, modern looking hotel. And they are now listed in the top 100 hotels. Isn't that awesome?
21.
It's called 21C. Yes. Check it out. I actually have to thank my hairdresser that I used to have, my stylist that I used to have. She, Joan, you remember Joan?
Oh, yes,
Joan
I
had
remember.
me meet her and some friends there before we went to see my now stylist, Sherry Anderson, who was doing a fashion show downtown. And she's like, let's meet at this hotel. And I was like, where's this? So she turned me on to that. So I don't know. Tell me, by the way, if any of you have been to it, it's super cool. We went and sat in the bar area and good food. They had some really good shrimp, by the way, if you're a seafood fan. Yeah, let me look through some comments. So anyway, that's the news you can use. Oh, and sports wise, Milwaukee in town to take on our Cardinals this weekend. And it looks like we've got some nice weather, but as Beckett said, wear your hoodie. Okay, Linda says good morning to Mama Jacque.
Good morning.
And myself. Julie, good morning. Lisa just got done training with me. Good morning. And hey, Mama. Kathleen, good morning. Happy Friday. Have a great weekend. Mama Jacque is beautiful. So nice to see her. Marilyn says, good morning, gorgeous ladies. Good morning, Beckett. I see you're not grounded. Beckett, listen to your mother. She knows best. Good morning to all from Luann Petrie, Linda. Angela Huddy on Channel 2 just talked about those same clouds. Yes, I think a lot of the meteorologists were mentioning because those are the clouds everybody was taking pictures of. And when Jill, Beckett's mom, posted last night, I was like, Mammatus? What's it called? Good morning, Julie Fabian. Swifty fans. Oh, there we go. Overly excited over 2 new released albums, Marilyn says. Julie Fabian, he is still 14. That's right. Yeah. We have to remember because he doesn't act like it. Yes. Leona, good morning to you. After your live last night, I sat outside for a while. The birds were crazy. Yeah, they were stirring around. It was neat to listen. And yes, we said earlier, Kelly Griffin says that Beckett has a great future as a meteorologist. Debbie Needy, what a great weather report. Thanks, Beckett. We call it What the Weather. I came up with that as I was driving into the studio that morning thinking, what should we call these segments with him? And I had asked Zach, who runs our show, you know, Zach, yes. I said, you got to give me that intro because I need it in the system when I'm running the show. He's going to get a chance to do that hopefully over the weekend or a Monday. That way, no matter when you see Beckett on with us, you'll see this cool little intro that Zach and Michelle put together. Okay. Michelle made that graphic, by the way. Wasn't that cool? That little caricature of him. Yeah. So it's called What the Weather because we all do there's rainbows, there's clouds, there's lightning, there's tornadoes. What the heck is happening? So I just thought that was kind of fitting. Yes. Julie, I just talked to Amanda, my daughter, and no damage by her house in Imperial. Well, that's good to see. Stephanie says all clear here. Hi, Mama Jacque and Monica from Cary. We had heavy rain and lots of lightning, but thankfully that's all. That's from Linda. And yeah, let us know where you're watching from so we can see if anybody did have damage in their area. Julie Purcell, good morning. Kathy says good morning, ladies. And these a lot of things from Michelle. She's up. And Adam, I'm in Chesterfield and it wasn't too bad. That's from Julie Fabian. Oh my gosh, so beautiful. That was probably to the rainbow. My husband's sister disowned her mother 7 years before her death, where people like me would have given their right arm for one more day with mine. So many broken relationships, Monica. I can't imagine. Okay, we're going to get into that in just a second. Yes. Never heard of 21C. I know. Check it out. Just Google that.
Yes.
And Marilyn, have not heard of that before. The award news. Yes, I went there. I went there once, but I'd like to go back. Good morning, Dana Dean. Oh, we haven't talked to you in a while. Michelle says, good morning, Mama Jacque. Love you.
Morning.
That's from Michelle Harmon. I think Taylor is a strong,
Michelle.
Okay, Leona says, I think Taylor is a strong, independent, smart businesswoman.
Yes.
And I think that is a great example for younger girls. Okay, Good point. Aunt Tootie's on. Good morning
hello,
to
Dolores.
2 of my favorite women. That's my Aunt Tootie. That's my godmother. Your live last night from the wine closet. Oops, your clothes closet was fun. The wine closet. Oh, I always wanted a wine closet. That's a good idea. All clear in St. Charles near me. That's Luann. Good morning, beautiful ladies. That's from Karen. I love Karen Manzelli. Yes. So Michelle says it when I say up and Adam, that it sounds like up and Adams.
I know. That's what I'm
Hashtag up and Adams. All clear near me in St. Charles. Well, good. I'm so glad that none of our Monica maniacs, which is what they're calling them, are injured or have any major damage. Again, let us know if anybody does. 719. Okay. You know, if you have followed me for years, that I absolutely adore this woman, right? We are, I get a kiss. We are very blessed, though. Let me say this, that we have, for my entire life, had this kind of a relationship.
Yes.
Did I ever act out like Beckett did?
Yeah.
She can tell some stories and we can be real today.
Yeah.
Let's see. What's your favorite story of me acting out?
Let's see. Trying to think.
Oh, is there that many?
No, I'm trying to think the one. Well, but I guess I did almost the same thing. But there was, what was it? And I don't know why. you took off and went.
I didn't run away, folks. Hold
No,
on a
she didn't
second.
run
Let's
away.
get to this.
You went,
To visit my best friend.
but you weren't supposed to be going anywhere. And
I was staying. Okay, let me do
Yeah,
this.
you can
let me
remember
set the pace, and then she can fill in. So I'll do play by play. She'll do color commentating. Here's the story. I decided I wanted to go visit my best friend at the college that I had gone to my first year, which was
Yes,
Missouri
that's right.
Valley. My second year was Mizzou. This is after I came back and had my blood clot and was forced to stay home for 2 years. So there's a lot going through my mind when we talk about mental health, spiritual health, right? Keeping yourself happy. I wanted to see my best friend. Julie is one of my dearest friends. She's known me since I was 18 years old. Absolutely hilarious. I wanted to get back down, see some people that I had gone to college with. I should have said, actually, I think I did. And you said no. And I was like, I think she thought it was too big, too long of a drive. It was like, what, 4 hours away? Yeah. So Marshall, Missouri, by the way. And I'm staying at my brother's house.
Yes.
My oldest brother and were they married at the time?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So my brother and sister-in-law at the time. And I decide that I'm going to go. And my brother says, okay, but what if mom calls? And I was like, well, she won't call. So I'm staying over here. And he goes, okay, well, if she calls, what do I say? And I said, I just tell her I'm in the shower or whatever. So okay, now I'm going to let you pick it up from here, because why in the world did you call?
I don't know what I called, why, and I asked to talk to Monica. And Brian said, oh, she's in the bathroom. I go, okay, well, have her call me when she gets out or what. So then he hurries and gets hold of Monica, has her call me. All of this just
from Marshall, Missouri.
From Marshall, Missouri. And all of this thing, this does not seem just
but
right.
Why do you mothers have this intuition?
You have it. If you had, you would know. But it's like, yeah, ask, all the moms would answer. Yeah, there's just something that somehow that don't sound just right.
But why? We had it so perfectly, right? So Brian says I'm in the shower,
not.
and then I'm going to go and then I was going to go to bed. Why didn't that work out right? Beckett, you should be listening to this. Don't do this.
Don't do that. So then when I'm talking to her, somehow I got to thinking, no, it's not right. So did I go to their house?
Yes.
I think I got up and I went on over to I said, knock on the door. Where's Monica? And then Brian's go, oh my gosh. And I go, where is she? She's went. I go, what? So I think I got on the phone and got you. And I think I said, you come home. Couldn't
the next day.
You come home tomorrow morning, because I couldn't say come home right now because it was late. So I go, you better get home here tomorrow morning.
And as a little brat, I said, oh, good. Then I still get a party. And then I'll come home and then I'll deal with what I'm going to have to deal with. So yes, all of you, that's probably the worst. But let me just say, I told her, you did the same thing to your mom.
But I didn't sneak about it. I called.
While you were driving to Chicago.
No.
That's what you told me.
Oh, to Chicago was when I was going to get married.
Oh, wait a minute. Excuse me?
He thought, I go, no, I'm not going to marry him. I thought,
some guy was driving you to Chicago?
Yeah, Butch, that I used to go with.
Butch. I love that. Don't you all love the names back then? She also had somebody that was like, what was it?
Icky.
I've never heard Icky.
He was the one that got me.
Oh, wait, it's a guy?
Yeah, Icky is, and he let me use his car, and I was driving my girlfriends around, Icky. And a policeman stopped us, and I said, I didn't do anything wrong. He come up and I go, yes, sir. What's wrong? He goes, well, I was just wondering, you seen a bunch of girls in the car, and I figured I'd pull you over. Can I see your driver's license? And I went, I don't have any.
See, look, folks, look, it all comes out in The Real Show. If you're just tuning in, this is The Real Monica Adams and The Real Jacque Adams. We're being real with you. Mm-hmm. And we're talking, by the way, about relationships. I mean, look, we're being real. I don't think you ever told me about, I don't know. I've never heard.
I think I just told Craig and Amy that story. Because then I said,
now comes
so
up.
then I had a ticket. And I had to go to court.
Oh, tell your son-in-law, who is a police lieutenant.
Yeah. Okay. And then I am, and Icky came.
What was his real name?
I don't know. He just was someone that hung around with the crowd. And so
was he Icky?
No, he was I don't know how he got, but he was very nice young man. And we were but that was weird that it was going to be costing. It was weird, like it was $15 or $16 was the fine, and he had $15. And Amy and Craig died laughing, and I go,
that's
so
my
then
brother,
I'm thinking,
by the way.
Okay, how? Oh my gosh, where are we going to get other money? And I had penny loafers at the time. But I was a rich kid, I guess.
You had a quarter?
I had quarters, 2 quarters in each
You weren't
shoe.
rich though.
So no, I wasn't.
Rich
But
in spirit.
rich in spirit. So I took my shoes off in the court and pulled my quarters out of each shoe to make the dollar that we had. So I paid the fine.
Isn't this the best? This is what I want to do more of, right? A lot of people said, I love you and your mom together. And so it made me think, on a day where I don't have anything set with interviews, etc., let's just kick back and relax with Mama Jacque. Okay, someone said the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. I don't know anything about Icky. I've heard about Butch. I'm talking about the other names. Candy, right? Wasn't there a Candy? Or
Candy?
What was the Randazzo person? What was that name?
Oh, I forget. That was, I think, somebody that
my dad dated, right?
Dad that he dated.
I mean, there's the names are straight out of Greece.
Yeah, what was her first name? I don't know.
Something Randazzo. I don't know.
Randazzo.
All right, let me.
So if a Randazzo is listening,
maybe my dad dated you before my mama, not during.
no, before.
Okay, hang on. Let me go back here because it has been hilarious. Okay, Michelle says, Monica Maniacs, haha, I think Richard Melching came up with that. Yes, Crystal posted it the other day and said, we need to get a destination vacation with Monica's Maniacs. And I laughed so hard and I'm like, that's funny. And she said, I can't take the credit. Richard came up with it. So Richard with Dude's Playground, who we absolutely love. He brought his dog in. That's Dude.
Oh, okay.
Did you see that show?
I think I saw that one. Yes.
Oh, what a beautiful dog. Mm-hmm. So anyway, yes, Richard did come up with that. Marilyn says that she agrees with the comment about Taylor about a good businesswoman. So that's a good part. Yes. Moms have the gut feeling. Yes. But okay. So I don't know about Icky, but she also drove to Kansas City with her girlfriend and she called her mom on the way.
No.
Yes, you did.
No,
yes, you did.
Not on the way driving.
You told me you did.
No. We were riding around downtown, and my brother-in-law at the time, he worked at a cab company, and we went and seen him. And then while we were driving around downtown, on the radio came, going to Kansas City, here I come. And my girlfriend, Shirley, said, you want to go to Kansas City? And I said, oh, yes. So I said, okay, well, I don't have any clothes. Well, I'll find something for you. Well, she was Monica's height and I'm short, but we found something, and I said, well, I got a
dress on you.
Yeah. So I said, I've got to call my mom. It must have been about 10 or 11 o'clock at night, after we were riding around.
Yeah, she's delirious.
So I call my mom and she answers and I go, Mom, yeah. I go, Shirley and I are going to go to Kansas City. Is that okay? And I guess, of course, she's probably having a sleep. And she said, okay.
Yeah, she didn't even know. Exactly. And
so
then she wakes up and where's her daughter?
No.
Everybody, give me a break. Does that any better?
But I called and asked for permission.
All right, fine. All right, fine. Yes, moms do have the gut feeling. Kathy Holden Reed says, Marilyn, I was off the Taylor Swift radar until the Time Magazine Person of the Year. She's intrigued me ever since. Yes. I mean, again, business. But here's the other thing.
She might have had some boyfriends because of songs at the time.
Everybody says, anybody she breaks up with, guaranteed they'll end up in her next song.
Probably, yeah.
I will give her that. Smart businesswoman, but one of the biggest things is, she doesn't do that alone. She's smart to have an incredible group around her.
Yes.
Which is what I do. I make sure that the people around me, Michelle, my right-hand girl, right?
Yes.
I've got Zach running the show, and he's just so calm under pressure. Such a good creative guy. We've got Hannah turning those reels and stories like that. Of course, George and I started this from the beginning. We got to get George back on the show, though.
Oh, yes.
George is busy at work with another contracted job. And then for those that want to book me for MC and auctioneering and motivational speaking, we've got Lori that swings in. And then my husband says he knows what will happen after he retires next May. He will be more and more part of our Real Monica Adams team. And he likes it.
Sidekick.
He will be, I hope so. You.
Another sidekick.
You'll be a regular, I have a feeling you'll be a regular part of the show. And then Jim, people love when Jim and I are together as well.
Yes.
We have 100 people on right now, by the way, watching. That's how much they love you and I together. Linda, as a teenager, I gave my mom and dad nightmares, I'm sure. But through it all, they always were there for me and never gave up. I wish I could take back some of those times. I know, and this is why I'm doing the show today about this. So for our next 30 minutes, what I want to do is have all of you be real. Can you just tell us, are you struggling with your parents right now? Do you not talk to them? Have you not talked to them in years? Let me tell you, and I can't say it enough, life is so unbelievably short. Are you, here's the question I always ask Mom. Would you be okay if you got a phone call that they're no longer here and you weren't able to make amends? Because if you can honestly say, yes, what they did or what I did is just too horrific and we cannot mend the fences, then okay. But you got to be honest with yourself, because what I don't want you to do is ever say, I regret this, I regret that, I didn't say this, I didn't call them. Please call. How often do I call you?
Probably almost every day.
And if I don't, you call me and say, you must be
okay,
busy.
Oh, you must be very busy. What's
and you know
going
what?
on?
And I feel bad because it used to be, do you
no.
remember? No, but I do, because life is so short that I wouldn't want a day to go by that I don't get a chance to talk to you. What used to happen when I would leave Channel 2? 9 o'clock every morning, right?
She would call.
And then what did my brothers do?
Oh, Craig at one time said, I mentioned, I guess we were talking about it, and I just, talking, and I'm going, oh, well, Monica calls me every day. And it was Craig that said, oh, you're trying to make me feel bad? And I go, no, if you feel bad, that's your fault.
Good answer. That's right. No one can make something happen to you. Like, I actually have to apologize. Downstairs, my mom asked me a question and I lost my balance when I was training my clients. I was like, oh, you just made me lose my balance. And immediately, that's what you want to do, is transfer the energy and the mindset of, well, actually, no, she didn't. I allowed myself to get distracted. So it wasn't her.
No.
It was me. So we got to think about the way we talk and owning things a little bit more, right? Linda says, that's so funny. I think I have a similar story about myself and my mom. Kathy, you two are so cute. Jackie telling on herself. That's from Crystal. The apple doesn't fall far from the tree, Lisa said.
I always said, I'll tell the truth because I have nothing to hide.
Yes.
I go, as a young kid and all that there, and a young girl, I was a good girl, always. I might have been mischievous about stuff, but I was a good girl.
Was I a good girl?
Yes.
And your sons were good boys?
Yes.
But hey, everybody.
So I've been blessed by God.
But I was just going to say, but that's a true testament to parenting.
Yes.
So own that.
Own that. Okay.
Do this to yourself, right? Good job, and good job, Dad.
Good job. Yeah. Yes.
Yes. I mean, let me tell you, was it all puppies and rainbows? No. We've talked very raw and real about different aspects of my mom and dad's relationship. We watched it. We went through it. My dad had a drinking problem. I'm being very honest with you. I talked to my dad a little bit, but I was only in my early 20s. Yeah. If here, I'm just going to say this. If you only knew then what you know now, right? So if only all the things and all the studies and all the counseling classes and the coaching classes that I've taken to help my clients, I would have loved to have had my dad as one of my life coaching clients, to sit him down, if he was willing, to say, Dad, you don't need the alcohol. Don't turn to that. No. However, he never laid a hand on any of us. No. He maybe verbally abused.
He never laid a hand on me either.
Any of us, I said.
Any of us. Oh, I thought you meant us.
Verbally,
kids.
Though?
Verbally, yes.
Yeah, and that's the thing.
That's horrible.
But what I'm actually coaching a 21-year-old and her mom right now. And boy, let me tell you what. Oh, I just got chill. What happens in the beauty of releasing things. When I used to start my life coaching with them last fall, every time they popped on camera, there were tears, there were emotions. Why? Because they had to walk the path of what they went through. But what happened was the mother and the daughter have gotten so close because her daughter realized, Mom raised all of us because Dad wasn't there. Oh, now, that wasn't the case with us. No. My dad was at every sporting event. My dad got me into modeling. Mm-hmm. My dad, well, that was the thing. When I had my blood clot, you pretty much told Dad, you've got to find something for her.
Because what are you going to do? She's going to go crazy.
And a lot of people said, well, why isn't your daughter a model? She should be a model. So I started modeling back then to get my mind and my spirit wrapped around something. Because they wouldn't let me play sports anymore. No. It's also when I really started lifting. So we started lifting thanks to Coach Drake at Aquinas.
Oh, yes.
At 15. Yes. So get your kids involved and you did as well. I watched her forever working out. Yeah. Kind of doing Pilates.
My mom, not heavy work, but she always did some kind of exercise or whatever. And she would say, well, I can do this. Look at this. I can do this, and I would think, oh, okay, that's really great. So I love to dance. That was my exercise.
I know you do.
I went swing dancing every single night until I met Miles. Then we still did. But then when we got married, all of a sudden we were not going anywhere. And I said, what happened? We're not going. He goes, well, I settled down. I go, well, you don't have to become a hermit.
He was only in his 20s.
So I used to tell my friends, Jim and Lorraine, I would call Miles and ask us to go with you dancing. So that's how we would go then.
Oh yeah,
Otherwise,
friends have to get you out.
Friends have to get you
Yeah,
out.
he was just dancing and showing off just to get you.
Probably.
All right, anybody has a comment? So again, as you can see, this is real. We just have a genuine. So you know what? Let me ask you this before we look at their comments. What do you think makes our relationship, our friendship, go as well as it does? What do you think the ingredient is?
I don't know, just caring for each other and wanting to have fun together.
Respect.
And most definitely respect. Yeah.
Communication,
Mhm.
kindness.
Yes.
She's a great role model, but she just said the same thing though. She looked at her mom
Yes.
and emulated that. I do the same. I just mentioned when I was a little girl, I always watched my mom. Do you all remember, this is back in the 70s, my mom would put something on the door. What was that thing?
I don't know, some kind of exercise thing. Yeah, but
It's
I
like
used to
Pilates.
be waiting for Miles to come home from work because he didn't get home until 10 or 10:30, and I'd put you kids to bed, and then I would work out. And it was something that hooked around the doorknob, and then it had, and then your arms and legs would go up and down and up and down.
It was like,
and up and down.
I mean, I liken it to
Yeah,
Pilates.
right.
So long, lean muscles. And that's the dancer, right? It's the dancer in her. When I dance and do my contest, I switch my training to more Pilates based, yoga based, become very, very slender, very tiny. I was so tiny when I danced. I was like, that's tiny.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
My husband doesn't like it that tiny.
He doesn't?
No, he says a woman needs to have curves, not just be straight up and down. He looks at the ladies that were in Hollywood in the older movies. That's why he watches, what is it, American classic movies so much.
Oh, yeah.
And he's like, see, they were not size 2s and 4s, Monica.
No, Marilyn Monroe.
She was a size 12.
She was size 12, and they just showed a picture of her, and it was going, look, here's Marilyn. She had a belly, and she had on some kind of a tight dress, and she had a belly and hips and stuff.
She lost, but
Yeah,
she was a size
later.
12,
She was a
and every guy had her pinned up in their room, and they loved her, right? But then what happened? How did it become zeros?
Yeah,
that's not even a size.
Well, maybe what was her name? Twiggy. That was
Oh.
a model. Idiot.
Yeah.
She was that. She was
Yes,
a
I should
twig.
say, sorry.
And I guess other people,
Yeah.
maybe.
What was the other one?
I don't know. But
I'm trying to remember yeah, you're right, but it kind of never changed. But again, the problem in society is that you're painting the picture that these, what's on the cover of a magazine or what's in movies, these zeros and 2s. And then think about all the women that are the size of Marilyn Monroe, who was the size of the models back then, and they all think they're heavy.
Right. Well, then who is that? Over large, extra large, or what do you call? Well, I meant
robust
woman. She's a model. It's a woman, and she's for the larger size. And then that's where it kind of changed from being.
Well, I also
skinny
don't you
thing.
think, and I have to give Dove credit for this. I'm not at all saying that I want people to be unhealthy, but there are larger bone ladies, larger bone guys.
Yes.
Are you, the biggest thing is, are you happy with yourself?
Yes.
Just kind of like what I said, can you honestly let a parent or a friend or somebody go and not mend your fences with them? Are you okay in your own skin? That is the biggest thing. Are you truly happy? You're not bound by that dang scale and care what that number says. I just want you to be healthy. I want you. And so that's the thing. If you're a size 16, 18, 20, 22, higher, it's the fact that what's happening to your organs. What are you eating?
Yeah.
Right? I just want you to be healthy. I mean, that's what my platform is all about. I'm not trying to get you to be a 2 or a 4. One of the things that I said is, no one knows what this says behind you.
Oh, yeah.
Right. As you're walking in front of someone, they don't know if it says small or 4X.
Yes.
They don't know if it says 110 pounds on the scale or 210 pounds. So why are you so hung up on the numbers?
Yeah.
Release the numbers and just be happy with yourself. Be movement, right? We need to move, whatever that is. And if you have injuries or you're wheelchair bound, well, we can do, what are the limbs that can move? Yes. I mean, I've trained people that have multiple sclerosis.
Yes.
They have multiple district. What is it?
Muscular
dystrophy. Thank you. That's why it's a team. My mind flies, Mom. Yes, cystic fibrosis. I have cancer. So many levels of people I've trained over the last 25 years. And we say, what can we do together? Yes. How can I help you? Those that were in a wheelchair, I would lift them up with a belt and I'd hold on to them and then we would move. I remember do you remember I used to tell you the story when I used to train at Fenton, River Chase in Fenton, that's now the Y. And his sister brought him in and she's like, well, we can just wheel him up to the machines. And I said, well, yeah, but can we do more? And she goes, well, he can't do more. And I said, that's what you say. I'm the trainer. Are you willing to just go ahead and go away, drop him off? And then she started crying. She couldn't believe it. Here he was with me with a belt holding onto him. And I would say, as his legs started to go and, slouch back down, I'm like, up, up, up. And then he verbally, he couldn't talk. Do you remember this? And so he would go, pop, up, up to me. And he would like, kind of like this, like, up yourself. Right. And I was like, up, up. And, oh my gosh, it was, and he warmed my heart and soul. And then he would hug me and we'd have this beautiful language we had together of trust, respect. He knew that I believed in him and he believed in me. And then I got him boxing.
Oh,
I held him up behind and I would go box, box, box. And come on, think of so when people have excuses, I would say, don't you dare give me an excuse. Look what that man is doing because he believed and I believed in him, right? We're just talking about kindness shown to each other.
Yeah.
Dana says your mom is the best. Dana hasn't been on for a while. She said that she's been so crazy busy. Marilyn, very cool. My boss took her sweet daughter, Lucy, to her show when she was here in the Lou, and the messages Taylor had for the young girls and then the young boys was great besides her concert. Unfortunately, Lucy is still missing. I know. And parent alienation since dad controls her mind in isolation. If you haven't heard that story, that's the story of Kathy Kilo Peterson and what she went through, right? He has taken her incredible youth from her. So sad. Thank you. I so agree with Leona. Do you want to do me a favor and hit that? Because we're going to let her.
No.
Go ahead. We're talking about Kathy. So let Kathy be the sponsor of this wonderful segment today, Between Parents, because that is the biggest thing she wants back is that love between her and her daughter.
Yeah.
Kathy Kilo Peterson probably has a lot to do today. A lot of phone calls coming in from the damage of the storms. State Farm champion, and she really is. Kkilo.com. I was talking about her last night on our live that we did, the spontaneous live. 636-561-6460. We've got the QR code on the screen for you as well to make it easy for you. If you have not called yet, I don't know what you're waiting for because you're going to need somebody to help you out. Are you looking at the number? 105. There's 105 people on. State Farm agent, and her location is in the St. Charles County area, but she has clients all over the place. So don't think, oh, since we're in St. Charles County, is it only St. Charles County? No. Be kind is her motto, just like ours. And my mom actually mentioned this the other night. Can you imagine if I would have had pet insurance during the time I had to have surgeries for my dog forever ago? So it's important. Show your pets some love as well, but take care of those homes because catastrophic things happen like the storms yesterday. And then suddenly you need to make a call to someone that's going to be there for you. She said sometimes she beats even the main officials to things, right? Because she's there to take care of you and she knows about your family, etc. 636-561-6460. Kathy, we love you. Cheryl Kuhn, cute story. That was me driving 3 hours away. My mother thought I was staying at my friend's house. See, a lot of you, be real. Those were the days before cell phones. Exactly.
Oh, yes.
Crazy things we did as teenagers. I just remember you calling down to the apartment that Julie stayed at. And all of a sudden, one of her roommates says, she's going like this and she's covering up the phone. Mom. And I was like, what? Your mom's on the phone. I'm like, my mom? How did she find me? Yeah, that was a long drive home, by the way. It wasn't a fun drive because I knew what I was up against. Always trust your gut, right, Mama Jackie? Always trust your gut. Good morning, Dr. Sean. We're going to see him in about 2 hours. We're going to get our adjustments, taking care of our spine. And he said he can't wait to meet you. Yep, she's going to go with us. So Jim and I are going to Mid-America Spine and Rehab. We love them. And he will be back on with us on Monday, which, by the way, is Earth Day. And I told him, I said, I'm going to challenge you to think, is there anything with regards to Earth Day that goes along with chiropractic care? And you know what he talked about? Mother Earth, right? So he said, how about moms, pregnant moms, and chiropractic? And I was like, look at you being creative, right? So how many of you go through when you have been, or maybe your kids are pregnant and you make sure that they are taken care of and actually get adjusted? One of the things he told me, his youngest, actually, I'm not going to say it. We're going to ask him on Monday. The youngest patient he had, you're going to be really shocked because I wouldn't have thought that you would take a child this young. Yep. Well, he'll tell you on Monday. I see he just said, can't wait to meet Mama Jackie. And Dorothy Freeze or Freeze, maybe. Good morning to you. That's a new one. If you're still on, Dorothy, tell me where you're watching from. Okay. Michelle says Jim will be my bodyguard and driver.
Right.
Gosh, am I going to need a bodyguard at that point?
I hope not.
Or Michelle will say, I hope so, because that will be how big we have gotten.
Oh, yes. But I meant hopefully that society is changing. The pendulum, they say, swings and would want to see it come back to where everybody loves one another
And
or
is kind.
kindness to
Yes.
each other.
Yes.
And not all this.
Michelle, yes, I
craziness.
was okay with that call. Oh, yeah. So she had a strained relationship with her father. I did everything in my power to mend my relationship with my father. Michelle, thank you for being so raw and real. Michelle had a really rough time with things that she had growing up with her dad, and she tried. And then he passed, but she did what, so this is what I'm saying. She owned it. She did what she needed to do. And that's the thing. And by the way, I'll go ahead and pass along the story of the 21-year-old that I'm coaching and her mother. They had an opportunity, which she didn't want because there was a whole court thing that they all went through. Wow. And then the mom is the one that has the kids, and they're older, by the way. She's 21, and then one of them's in college, and then there's a 12-year-old. But the dad got a chance, by the way. Let me just be real and tell you this. The dad got a chance about 3 weeks ago, and she put it on my plate, the 21-year-old. We've had such a beautiful friendship that's formed in the last 8 months. And she said, Monica, here's what's happening. And I had already known because the mom tells me things. And I said, nothing that is said in the mom session
goes to this one.
Correct. And that's the one thing that I think in the beginning they were like, is this really going to be real? Or is she going to snitch on us? No, it's kind of like HIPAA with medical. You tell me, I am not telling her unless I feel it needs to help mend you to. Well, I had already been told by the mom that there was somebody that had reached out and there was a possibility of being able to see the dad. So I wasn't going to say anything, but the daughter did say, Monica, I'm going to tell you something. We might see my dad. And I said, oh, really? Again, I acted like I didn't know. And she goes, what do you think about that? And I said, what do you think about it?
Yes.
And she's like, well, should I go? And I said, oh, honey, I can't make that decision for you. Yes. I said, but here's what I think. I think you should, because I think you will always wonder what took place that night if you're just trying to hear it from the eyes or the words of the mouth of your 12-year-old sister, right? Mm-hmm. So I said, it's up to you, though, because if it's going to turn your stomach, if you don't want to be there, you don't want to be brought back to the court time. Yeah. But she went. Her brother felt the same way, like, why? This is crazy. We already said goodbye, kind of. Well, they went. And everybody, I hate to say this because I had such high hopes. So sometimes even when we pray to God, our prayers you think are not answered, but maybe they are in some roundabout way.
They always say he answers them. Maybe it's not exactly what you want to hear right now, but it will be the correct answer
in his time.
In his time.
Right. Well, here's what happened. They had an opportunity. They went to the house. She said all she could do was keep staring at him. She didn't even recognize him. That's alcoholism.
Oh, yes.
And she's like, Monica, I couldn't even believe. But what happened? Everyone that knew a part of this said, there's no way he'll drink. If he does, it'll be a couple drinks before just to calm his nerves. There's no way he would drink and be drunk. Well, folks, he did. He kept drinking throughout the night. And so she came back and, we've talked a little bit and she's like, I think I need to come back and talk about that night again because I'm processing. She's like, I cannot believe. And I said, you feel he made a mockery, right? That he didn't give the amount of weight that he had, the opportunity to mend some things, not to suddenly be like, oh, my dad's back, let's give big hugs. And we're not going to do the shame on him, right? We do that 100 Days to Freedom from Shame book from Stephen Arterburn. That's one of the many that we read when I'm on set. Those are the devotionals. I'm not going to say shame on the dad. I'm not going to say shame on anybody that night.
He's got a sickness.
And there you go, Mom. Thank you. Before I move on to the next comment, I said, do you know now what I've been saying for the last 5 months? That's not your father. That's the disease. Mm-hmm. That's not your father. That's alcoholism. Your dad needs help, but until he's willing to go and get it, then you probably need to separate. And she said, well, that was my goodbye. She said, we all felt like that was our goodbye. And I said, but here's my question. If you get a phone call that says that your dad, because the mom thinks that something's going on, like sickness wise, honestly. And I said, probably. I mean, if he has that much of an issue.
Yeah, it could be that maybe he knows something seriously with him and he's drinking to try to forget it or what.
I don't know. Again, to not get into too much, they've been through a lot, but I was just so hopeful, folks, that, and again, this is what we're talking about. They tried, they did what they could do. He's still not well. And so I'm hoping that someone within that family can help guide him to AA, to turn himself into a treatment facility and get better. And then I said, and this is a really powerful question, if he gets help, he's got chill. Mm-hmm. If he gets help, would you allow him to call you? Would you allow him back into your life in some way? I know it hurts because it's going to bring back old feelings, but you know what she said that night? Oh, and it made me cry. The mom and the daughter both said at the table, and it wasn't just, that was the other thing. They expected to just come to a casual dinner, and they were like, Monica, it was a full sit down as if nothing had happened since court. Like, she's like, we were like, are we on camera? Like, what is going on? Like, this whole family is in denial. And she came back and said, but we're not going to leave. Like, they made this steak dinner and everything. Yeah. She's like, everybody's going through the motions. And she said, we sat down and said, I'm in a really good place. And she said, he didn't know what to say. She's like, yeah. She goes, we got Monica. And then they were like, what? And she said, we got a little bit of Monica in our lives. And I was like, are you kidding me? And she said, no. She said, and we told them, and we're writing. She has us journaling. And he just sat there and went, what are you talking about? And they said, well, it doesn't matter, but this is why we're doing so well. And I'm like, God, I mean this. God, thank you. Thank you for putting those two ladies in my life and everyone that I coach. This is what I take them through, but I give it all to him.
Oh, yes.
I couldn't do it without him
definitely.
guiding me. Every day my prayers are, please tell me to say the right thing to my clients, personal training clients, life coaching clients, motivational speaking, to all of you, to help you. If there's one person that we affect today by saying how important this is. And as I'm saying, again, that 21-year-old and her dad's relationship, extremely strained. I mean, verbally abused them. He even did something to her physically. And so, yeah, that's a lot of hurt. But I asked her, if you got the call that he's on his deathbed, would you go see him? At first she said no. Then she looked at me and I said, I can't give you the answer. And she goes, all right, I probably would. And I said, because you want to be able to say, and maybe he says something at that very moment to say, please forgive me. And that might be able to give you a little bit of something to move forward. It's not going to erase the past. No. But she said, you know what I keep asking myself, and ladies and gentlemen and kids and seniors, everybody watching right now, what I'm told by every one of my clients that they think is the most powerful thing that I ask every one of them is, how is it serving you staying in the past? And all that is so tumultuous. How is it serving you right now? And how is it going to serve you in the present and in the future? It's not. I know there's pain. I know that there's been some really rough times, but our life, when we really look at the grand scheme of it all, is so short that how is it serving you to just hang on to the toxicity and the drama and the pain? So right now they're not talking, and it's a good thing, but she's in a good place and he needs help. You all hear that, right? You can lead them to water. You can't make them drink. They've got to be ready. That goes with any addiction: food, alcoholism, drugs, sex, gaming, whatever it is, whatever the thing is that's not serving you right now. You got to get help for it. And then they've got to be away from you to help their life, as we've been saying, move forward. Right? Any addition to that? Because we went through it. Yeah. Dad never got help.
No.
And he's gone.
Yeah, you always say.
But
I'm okay. Yeah.
But do you believe this? I swear on his deathbed, and this is what I'm talking about, I think he wanted to change. Did you feel that?
I guess I don't know. I know one thing I know, and what it touched me is to thinking it was the finals, and I knew, and I was talking to the nurse, and she was asking me questions about how we met and things that we did together, whatever. And I was talking about all this here and some of the fun things, we went dancing and we did this and whatever there. And it was really within minutes or something that he passed away. And I looked down at him, and then I saw a tear coming down, so he, like they say, you're hearing, even if he couldn't speak or anything, you can hear. So it touched him as to what I was saying. And
don't do that. Oh, you just made me cry. Because he did. And you've told me that. And that to me means I believe he wanted to change. I swear I remember him saying, and maybe this is what I wanted him to say. I don't know. I thought he said, I want to be a better man. I want to be a better husband. I want to be a better father. And I was like, Dad, you're a great father. I mean, to me, he really was. I know everybody has their own feelings, but for me, my dad was there for me. My dad would have done anything for his children. Yes. He just had the damn disease. Right. That is never going to serve you. Again, I know you're watching, Dad, and you got everybody in heaven dancing up there. Yes. I got a huge audience, by the way. Yeah. When we say we reach countries away, we reach worlds away.
Yeah, Miles and Jim and Lorraine are up there dancing.
They're doing the shag. He's doing the swing. Everybody, okay, I'm going to take a quick break again. We got a lot of comments. If you're okay.
Cookie Randazzo.
Cookie, not candy.
Not candy.
You're all like, for
It's
those of
like-
you that are just tuning in, you're like, what?
What?
Are you
But
talking
you
about?
know, it's like how things are. You don't even pay it, and it's the best. Don't try to keep thinking to get a name. And I usually go through the alphabet,
I was just going to say
and the
that.
name will pop up, and that just didn't. But then it's like it's there, and the
Cookie.
files are going. And
How did I forget that? That was the name of our dog.
yeah,
Okay, for those of you that are
So-
just tuning in and you don't know what we're talking about, we were mentioning names back when they were growing up. Butch, Icky, Cookie. All right, crazy names. She doesn't even know their real names because they all went by that.
yeah.
All right, we're going to take a quick break. We're going to look at your comments. A lot of them are coming in. We also have some really cool things that are coming up that I want to tell you about, including this.
Hey, The Real Monica Adams listeners. This is Abby Stallschmidt. You may know me as an electric violinist who has performed with various bands in the area, and I'm excited to personally invite you to my premiere at the Sheldon Concert Hall on June 5th at 8 p.m. You'll hear my new symphonic rock music as well as classic rock and pop covers, all backed by a string orchestra, full band, and multiple guest instrumentalists and vocalists throughout the night. It's truly going to be an awesome time. Head on over to metrotix.com or the Sheldon Concert Hall to get your tickets for the Dream Machine concert on June 5th at 8 p.m. I cannot wait to see you there.
Envita Health and Wellness, where you can feel your best both inside and out. Envita isn't your typical med spa. They're a multi-specialty medical spa and wellness center serving St. Louis and its surrounding areas. They have ketamine for mental health and pain, IV therapy, medical weight loss, and aesthetics treatments. As board-certified anesthesia providers, Envita can ensure that their advanced treatments are provided safely with minimal to no pain. So let Envita take care of you. Call 314-394-0950 to book an appointment or online envitahealthandwellness.com.
Welcome back, The Real Monica Adams Show, and I've been sharing some time with you with my mom. I love to share my mom with each and every one of you. So many people have fallen in love with her over the years in my TV and my radio days. I am blessed that everybody that meets you just says, you are so lucky. Your mom is awesome. And people always want to adopt you. Well, Mom, it's no different than your mother, right? People loved my grandma. Both pint-sized mommies.
Yeah.
She's all of, if you're lucky, what, 5 foot?
I think I might be just a little bit under 5 foot, but I always have 5 foot.
Your tallest was 5'1.5"?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm 5'8", and I don't know where the height came from because my dad was 5'9.5".
Your great grandfather, and that shocked me. My one cousin, because I didn't ever know that. I do remember my grandfather, but when I saw him, I think I was 3 years old or something, and must have been where you're so afraid. Grandma would go, you children have to be very quiet, and anything can't bother Grandpa. So he was in a wheelchair. The next time I remember seeing him, he was in bed. So I never saw how tall he was.
Oh.
And then my cousin Patty Swoboda, she had a picture of family, whatever, in a backyard party or something. And here is all the family. And then all of a sudden, there's this great, I go, who's that giant? And they said, that's Grandpa. I go, what?
It looks like when Jim stands next to you.
Yes. So all of them, probably the tallest of most of them would have been 5'8" or 9 or 10 either. And Grandpa was 6'3" or 6'4".
That's my husband's height, by the way, 6'3". And so it's funny because you've got Mom who's 5 foot and Jim who's 6'3" and me who's 5'8", but I love to wear heels that are about 3, sometimes 4 inch, but usually 3. And so I'll end up being 5'11". Right. And then she's like, what in the heck? Would you not wear heels? Because I'm down here like your child.
Yeah. Well, and I can't wear the real high heels anymore that I used to make me taller. People used to say, well, they didn't realize that. They said, oh, Miles is so tall. I go, no, he really isn't. But I was so short. Well, I wore high, like 4-inch heels and high hair,
So that would make you 5'7".
I would look tall.
What do they say? The higher the hair, the closer to God.
Yes.
I love that comment. Okay. So Carrie says my parents were both passed, but I was able to make amends before they passed away. Good. I got to say goodbye to my dad at the hospice house. My mom and I were best friends before she died. Oh, that is so very powerful. powerful. Kathy, my mom was my best friend. She passed away in 2016. I miss her every day. That's what I'm talking about.
Yes.
Before she was diagnosed with COPD, we were traveling buddies and there for each other always. You and I, by the way, I keep saying this, we need to stop putting it off. You and I need to do a little mom and daughter getaway, even if it's just like a staycation.
Yeah.
One of my best times with my mom was the Four Seasons. We had so much fun.
And that's what I said. It was just here in town,
Yes. Just get away from life, the dogs, the kids, your spouse, whatever, work. Yeah. Okay. Keep us to it, everybody. Keep us in check. And it wasn't always that way with my mom and me. Yes. So making amends. Both of my parents were in hospice and it's hard. My brothers never came around or called. So it was all on me. I wouldn't change anything. I loved my parents and always will. Julie, thank you for bringing that up because a lot of people, when we would do these topics in the past, and I want you to bring those back up, by the way, I got my pen and paper ready. If there are topics that you would like for us to discuss, maybe she and I do a regular show together. Maybe my husband and I do, or maybe Michelle comes back and we do a show together about friendships, things like that. Come back and tell me topics that really touch your heart because look, we've got tons of you on right now between X and Instagram and YouTube and Facebook and Rumble. There's 122 people on. That was our highest I think I saw so far. There's 115 of you on right now. I'm looking back and forth on all of the platforms to make sure I'm not missing anybody's comments. But yes, one of the things that we were talking about is making sure that you're okay if they are on their deathbed and you've had a strained relationship, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That you try. I'm not saying that it's going to be super, super close, but at least can you find some calmness within you, the stillness within you? Anne says, life's too short. Treasure the time that you have with your parents.
Yes.
Carrie, the most favorite moment of the end of the retreat last June was the hug that Miss Jacque gave me. She has a beautiful spirit. Do you remember that? Do you remember giving a hug to Carrie?
To Carrie? Oh,
You do? Kind of?
Kind of.
She says kind of. I thought that wasn't I think. That's because she hugs everybody. She loves hugs.
I love hugs. I was told
Okay,
somebody just recently said 4 hugs a day. I read something a while back and I go, holy cow, that's really hard. It said 14 hugs a day. So sometimes I have to hug myself.
I gave you 3 so far.
Yeah.
We'll keep going. Marilyn says, I've lost both of my parents and had a good relationship with both. I was with them both as they took their last breath. I was fortunate with the grace of God. It was so peaceful. Same for my sweet husband too. Peaceful. I do have Evelyn, who I worked for decades ago. Beautiful friend and mentor. She's my other mother and we talk often. Marilyn, by the way, is a beautiful spirit, right? You got it, girl. You've really honed what I want for everybody in life. Julie Purcell, my oldest brother had such a guilty conscience that he died 1 month after my mom from hypothermia in a chair with 50 bottles of whiskey surrounding him. Julie, I am so sorry. See, that's what I don't want. I don't want there to be so many regrets that you turn to things like that to self-medicate, to be okay. And you're not okay, obviously. Prayers for you. My mom had the pre-Pilates elastic doorknob band as well.
Yes. Okay.
That's what it was, Joy.
It was.
Julie, my youngest brother collapsed
what I did
walking
with that.
to the bathroom. His wife's family had him cremated and I never got to say goodbye to him. He was the brother I was so close to. Julie, if it helps you at all, he can still hear you. If you believe that. His spirit is still around you. And when you're still, they come to you. And you don't miss the fact that they're trying to come. You've got to work on your meditation, work on your breathing, the stillness of the mind and the stillness of the spirit, and they're around you. And when this is Jim's belief. When he thinks about his mom and dad, he believes that means they're around. When all of a sudden something happens and he's like, oh, hi, Mom.
Yes.
And I said, please believe that.
I do that. Yes.
That means that they're there and they're trying to get a message to you. I believe that. Again, you have your own beliefs. That's our beliefs. Stephanie, what's going on with my hair? All the things my mom did sometimes didn't make sense to me growing up. We used to argue. We made up though. Now I finally realized she did the things she did for all of us. I learned a lot from her and my dad. Treasure your parents. I miss mine. You and your mom have a special relationship. Yes, we do. And again, we do not take that for granted.
Nope.
What does olive oil mean? Olive oil. Darn it. See, some of these come in when, anybody know what the olive oil, Lisa, if you're still on, what does olive oil mean? I was so close with both of my grandmas who have both recently passed the last few years. I've missed these kind of chats with them so much. This brings me so much joy to watch you two. Crystal's going to go on that vacation with us whenever we plan it. So sad for you. Surround yourself with great friends. Rose, I wonder how my sister-in-law feels about not reconciling with her mom before she passed. Why don't you ask her? I tried to treat my mother-in-law with more respect when my sister-in-law and her had the fallout. She went through loss of memory and passed with Alzheimer's so quickly that I wonder if it was the pain of the relationship being strained. Mama Jacque reminds me of my mom. My mama was so small, I thought I was adopted. Lisa, thank you. I love this topic. topic, feeling the best we can feel. Yes.
You know something, I'm so happy for all of you that have grandparents, a grandmother and
Oh,
that,
yeah.
because I only remember my grandmother on my dad's side, and she was in her 80s. And I remember like dad would bring us over like at Easter or different things. I did not ever get to meet or know my mom's father or my grandma on my mom's side. They both died before she was like 21 or 22, and she lived with her sister, my Aunt Rose, because she was the baby of 14 children.
Ooh.
So it was that, they weren't around when we were, here. And so I only had one grandma, and didn't have a real close. I said, well, maybe on my dad's side, he was one of 10. My mom. So maybe it was like, oh, okay, another kid, another.
You all did
Yeah,
make a lot of babies.
Yes, and so it was like I was not real close feeling to my grandma. So that's why I loved my mom, because she was a great grandma.
Yeah.
And I hope that my grandsons will say I'm a good grandma.
Yeah,
Now
and a great.
And now I'm a good Gigi.
You're a good Gigi. Yes. Gosh, I hope. My stepson
Yes.
is getting married in September.
Yeah.
They say they don't want kids, but we are crossing our fingers that they change their mind.
Yeah, you always know people, they'll go, no. Then all of a sudden they change their mind.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Everybody send some prayers out that I get a chance to get some grandkids since I didn't have kids.
Okay.
Rose says, Julie Purcell, me too. Feel good about it as well. Good. The famous line, I'm staying at a friend's house. I would tell my son, don't even try it. I've done it and know all the excuses, and I have eyes everywhere. Yeah. Linda, good point. Gwen, I remember my mom telling me about her sister tying sheets together to sneak out of a 2-story farmhouse to walk into town to meet boys. Kids sneaking out has been going on forever. This show is making me smile this morning. Gwen?
That's something I never did. A lot of friends would say, yeah, didn't you, climb out a window and sneak out? And I went, no.
No, I didn't do that either. No, I just I got out. Marilyn, Jackie loves that thought. Do you feel when life was so much simpler and no social media and few divorces that people were kinder?
Yeah, I
love your daughter changing lives and bringing so much daily kindness. You raised a beautiful and talented daughter. Thank you, Marilyn. So glad I get more Monica than just doing traffic reports.
Yes.
I always had more in you. I always had more in me. I was just blocked.
Yes.
Until I wasn't.
Until
Good morning, Terry. Michelle said, hashtag a little bit of Monica in my life. Crystal, haha, I do the alphabet thing too when I can't remember a name.
Yes, it worked.
But it didn't, because C is only 3 letters into the alphabet. How did you not get it earlier?
But it's still there, and then all of a sudden
I think I threw you by the candy. Candy and cookies. I knew it was something to eat. This is Stephanie. My mom and dad had nicknames Sunny and Babe. I'm telling you, I don't think anybody knew anybody's real names back then. Oh, Kathy Holdermead says, oh, Patty Swoboda, my sister-in-law.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right.
Terry, I think I love you means olive oil. Oh, olive oil? You think? I don't know if she's I don't think she's still on.
It could be like olive you.
Yeah.
So it'd be like
I don't know. I don't know. I don't think she's on anymore. Sally says, good morning. I love you both. My mom was my very best friend. I miss her every day. Sally. We love Sally. Sally's like an adopted daughter for you.
Yes.
Knowing grandparents is such a blessing. Yes. Stephanie says, hugs to Julie. A lot of great comments, a lot of things being shared today. And yeah, that's a good point that you brought up, Mom. We actually talked about grandparents several months ago. And I never got a chance to know my dad's mom. She passed before I was born. She passed before Craig was born. Yeah. Brian was what, 1?
Brian was a year and a half old.
Right. But what I'm always told is if I want to know who my grandmother was, just look at my Aunt Margaret, right? My Aunt Margaret is one of my absolute favorite aunts on my father's side. Yes. I'm blessed, by the way. When people say that to me, you're right. I'm blessed with an incredible mother. I'm blessed with amazing aunts. Yeah. I'm blessed with amazing friends. I'm blessed with an amazing husband.
I was blessed with a wonderful in-laws, because I said
that's true.
My mother-in-law, and my father-in-law. Now, my father-in-law was around until he was like 85 or 86, So, and we worked together. We had our basement remodeled, and Grandpa and I worked together. Very good. Get this, get that, whatever. And then sometime he would say, let's hurry up and get this home and get this fixed before the old grouch gets home.
I think I'm married to my father. Just kidding. I love you, honey. I am blessed with an amazing husband. And somebody said, yeah, he can be a brat, but I was like, can't they all? But in the end, he's so supportive of me.
Oh yeah, well,
you know, he took off work yesterday, went out to my Yuppie Puppy live show. He does that a lot. And he was like, yeah, but he's also 1 year, almost 1 year left in, and then he gets to retire. And so he's like, I got a lot of time that I can take off, and I'll help you. Marilyn, Monica's so sad for both of us. We would have been incredible moms. That's okay. But you know what, Marilyn, this is what I'm told by a lot of my clients. They say, Monica, we're like your children, and all the people who watch you are like your children. And imagine that if you had kids, you wouldn't be able to affect all the lives. And I said, that's a good way to look at it. You're right. And by the way, I get snuggles and hugs from my friends that are having babies. I showed my mom last night.
Oh, yes.
This is Becky, who just had a baby. And let me just show you. Let's see. Can we get that
Monica
in there?
said, this is the first time I ever held a newborn
that
baby.
long. No. I've held a newborn. Kylie, when Julie had her baby, who is my godchild, when Kylie was born 13 years ago, I held her, went up to see her, but not as long.
Yes.
I mean, that's Olivia, by the way, Olivia Lynn or Livy Lynn.
Olivia Lynn. Olivia is becoming a very popular name.
Yes.
Yeah.
I held her for an hour. She just melted into me, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. She's so beautiful. Congratulations to Becky and to Brittany, two of my friends who just had babies. That baby's name is Raquela. Isn't that pretty?
Oh, that is
Raquela
pretty.
Wilson. We would have been incredible moms. I am, however, a good godparent and good neighbor. That part came before me working for State Farm. State Farm, right? Right. Be a good neighbor. Jackie, I never reached 5 foot, but I always declared that height. I refer to myself as both fun-sized and vertically challenged.
Yes.
I love hearing all these comments. Congratulations to Becky. I know. I'm so happy for them. All right, let's run through some things, by the way. Cultivating a Vision Night. It's coming up on a Thursday, which is what you all chose. I like to take things and put it into your hands. That way I know that you've got control over some things about the show. So Kasia Satars, who I cannot wait for you to meet. Kasia can't wait to come in from Canada. Thursday, May 9th, 6 to 7:30 p.m. And when we're talking about these real topics, we go really in depth. Kasia's been through a lot. I've been through a lot. We're very raw and real with you, but you get a chance to talk with us instead of just typing comments. You are with us on Zoom, and we're going through each month, and we are adding to it and adding to it. Does that mean that you missed out if you missed 1, 2, 3, and 4? No. You are just ready. Like my mom said earlier, God puts you exactly where you're supposed to be at his time. And then suddenly you appear on our screen, and we're ready to take you and carve out your vision. So the tickets are on sale for that right now. I know there's about 5 or 6 of you that have purchased your tickets early. Those are those early birds they're ready. If you wait, the ticket price will go up. It'll go up to $40 next Friday. It will then go up to $45 right before that, those few days before. Don't pay the highest amount. Okay? I can't say that enough. So go to the website, buy your ticket right now, TheRealMonicaAdams.com. You get a chance for life coaching in a class setting with 2 coaches. Just click on the events, and that calendar will pop up, and you can go to that night, Thursday, May 9th, and buy your tickets. This Saturday, tickets are still available for this. My mom will be there. Michelle will be there.
Yes.
Jim will be there. And I hope a lot of you will be there as well. Buy your tickets to see Ruby Lee. That'll be tomorrow night at Rickman Auditorium. We'll be there about 6 o'clock when doors open. We'll get a chance to visit with some of you. I'll take the stage for maybe about 15 minutes beforehand, have some fun with you, talk a little bit about our show and why we decided to start this a year ago. And then I'm going to bring that gorgeous child on. 16.
Yeah,
I say child because she's only 16
think,
years old.
That's all she is, the 16.
But you know what's cool? She just posted, so do follow her, by the way, on Facebook. She is going to graduate on May 17th, which is her birthday. She gets to walk across the stage, she said, in Florida on her birthday and graduate at 16. She had incredible grades, and she's able, I mean, again, she's so smart. May 16th, by the way, so the day before her birthday, we will be live at Just Pools on the West Outer Road in Arnold. You need to come to that one because we're going to sit by that beautiful pool. Isn't that going to be fun? The pool behind us, which, by the way, you can have a pool at your house. My mom is the one that introduced us to pools when I was a little kid. Thank you, by the way.
We always had pools.
I thank you. I'm thanking you over and over and over again. We had an above ground, and then they decided to build an in ground. And then when I bought my house in Afton, made sure I had a pool. When we bought this house, Jim and I got married, I wanted to have a pool. Why? Because water calms.
Yeah. I don't have a pool anymore, but I can look out my
At the
kitchen
lake.
window. I have a lake.
Yeah. It's your own lake.
It's my own lake.
But there we go. Mark that on your calendar. Mobile Monica Live, 7 a.m., May 16th. We've got a bunch of Mobile
I'll
Monicas.
put it in my phone.
Yes, you better, because it'll be a fun one. We're going to do some giveaways. We're going to talk about the incredible deals that they have coming up on Memorial Weekend when a lot of people open their pools. If you want a pool, you've been thinking about it, let our
You
friends at
talked
Just
about it a little
Pools.
bit, didn't you?
What?
The pool place?
Just Pools?
Yes.
I mentioned it the other day.
Yeah, special.
Oh, they got, yeah. I'll be running all those things out.
Yes.
They got a ton of specials. If you've been thinking about having an in-ground pool built, let our friends at Just Pools, who have been around for decades, be the ones to install it. And they can have it installed in the fall for you. Obviously, they can't turn it around and have it to you this summer, but they can install it in the fall, and they will give you a $5,000 upgrade if you book that weekend. So above ground, in ground, chemicals, whatever you need, join us for that show on May 16th. We also have some shows that we just confirmed on June 6th. We will be at Firefly Grill. My friend Christy is the owner there.
Oh, yes.
Christy Prosser. We just went, right?
Yes.
We celebrated our March birthdays.
Yes.
Good food.
Uh-huh.
Great place, beautiful place in Chesterfield.
Fantastic person.
Oh, I love Christy. And what we're going to do is actually, we're going to have Christy in, and that'll be in May. She'll come in studio and talk about her life, talk about our days at Copper's when we were waitressing. It's fun for all of you to kind of go back, and you've known me for 30 years, but this is when you really get to know me. I can't wait to hear what kind of stories she'll tell that I don't remember maybe.
Right.
So we'll talk though about being a waitress, being a manager. She was my boss at the time.
Yes.
And then getting married, but finding love, because that didn't work. And she'll talk about, when a lot of people find they have loss, then finding the true person. She's like, Monica, it's so amazing that I find love later in life. And she's like, I'm so blessed. I have this wonderful man. I'm like, see? So love, entrepreneurial spirit, woman-owned business, believing in yourself. We'll talk about all those things with Christy Prosser. She'll be coming on in May, and then we'll do the live show on June 6th. We'll get you ready for that. June 13th, by the way, we will be at Sunset Overlook. Cannot wait to meet Julie. She's the owner, and that's in Columbia, Illinois. So I'm going to try to get my family that lives over there to come. And it's going to be a 7 p.m. show, and it's going to wrap up at 8:30. Just a few minutes before that, the sun will set.
Oh.
We'll have a little wine together. We'll have fun. She's coming up with some trivia. We've had a lot of fun with these. And then we yesterday went by and saw Michelle, who is the owner of Huga in the Meadows in Lake St. Louis. And that one's coming up in July. So all these we're going to put on our calendar.
It's like 3-year anniversary.
3-year anniversary. Yeah, a lot of people, by the way, are celebrating anniversaries with us. And we're going to celebrate the 15th anniversary with Stone Soup Cottage. That one's coming up in June, I believe. We're still putting that. So a lot of these are finalizing, and then Michelle puts them on the calendar for you so that you can start planning to come out to these. So we do not sit still here.
No.
We've got a lot to do. And what I want you to do for me, do me a favor. I'm going to put my email address back on the screen here. If you would like to sponsor the show, if you would like to be a monthly sponsor, you want to do a Mobile Monica from your business or your festival. By the way, Mother's Day, you want to come meet us? We will be at the Farmers and Artisans Market. That's in the Pantera's parking lot in O'Fallon, Missouri, off of Highway K and 70. And we'll be there from 10 a.m. to noon, by the way. We'll have a lot of fun with the 40 vendors. There'll be dogs there. There'll be food there. There'll be music there. Mama will be there. Your mama, I want you to bring by before or after church. I say before or after brunch. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's another Mobile Monica that was booked. But we would love for you to be a part of the show. As you can tell, I gush, and you get a heck of a lot more than, and that's one of the things that all of my sponsors have said. Oh yeah, you really do give us a lot for our value. And I said, it's because I know your value. I know that you work hard for your money, and I know that you know that we work hard. So it's obviously, I can't come free because there's a lot of work that goes into it. And she's going to show you the last thing. So as I put this up on the screen, special thanks to our growing list of sponsors. And these are the monthly ones that either we have a segment with them, they are on in a commercial standpoint, and then we do this. Did you all notice this is the new color, by the way? This is the Know Your Value, the beautiful, it doesn't look as teal on screen as it is, but we've got pink and we've got teal. Those are the new colors we just rolled out in our merchandise.
There's
and then this is the jacket. This is for Mama. She just got an extra small because she's so tiny, and this is her favorite. that when you shake somebody's hand, that it says,
know your value.
there it is. My favorite saying besides the kindness aspect. So everybody, if you haven't gotten your merchandise yet, I'd love for you to do that. Go to our website and you'll see our
I
store.
should have this on.
That's okay. We're going to put it on as we wrap up. So TheRealMonicaAdams.com is a website that you need to regularly check because Michelle does a lot of hard work. She's so great when it comes, well, to so many things, but she puts together everything. Let me help you with, you got it? She puts everything together on the website that you need to know about where we are going to be. My story's on there. That great video of my mom. I watched it yesterday. I forgot about that.
Oh,
I loved it. It's when I first walked away and you were talking about what you wanted for me. Yeah. See, this is the thing that we like about the collar, by the way. It can drop down like this, or if you're cold, which now we've got nicer weather,
and
but you can zip it up and but it doesn't choke you.
No.
When we were designing this,
no, there's a lot.
it's like, so if she were to have it zipped up, you've got this opening here. So it's here. You could put a little scarf if you wanted. Bless you. But it also lays to where you could zip it up like this. Bless you. And it opens up like that. But yeah, so people have been asking everybody, oh, what's the real Monica Adams? So it just is an opening line for you to tell them about this show.
Monica, know your value.
She's so cute, isn't she? Now you see, you should have had it on. That's good coloring, by the way.
I didn't. I brought it up and I should have put it on. Yeah.
All right, everybody. Well,
Sorry.
I want you to have a wonderful Friday. We're going to go get adjusted. We're going to introduce Mom to Dr. Sean, and then he'll be on with us along with Dr. Sarah on Medical Monday. And then I'll get it for you.
Yeah.
Yep. So, and then on Tuesday, I did confirm this, and I love this man. You are going to fall in love with him as well. Have I ever introduced you to Tom Tessero, who owns the Healing Arts Center in Maplewood? Anybody ever been there, by the way? You want to talk about people that, hold on, Mom. You want to talk about people that are incredible massage therapists? They've all probably learned from him. He does energy work. He does Reiki. They've got all the things that you need for the outside of your body. All of these beautiful things that you need to have the beautiful energy around you, have glowing skin. I have said this before, and I want you to tune in and tell me if you don't agree. When that man sits in front of me, you just want to go like this. I swear I feel like I'm talking to God. He is the closest. And sometimes I wonder if he's been here all these years and if it really is him. Tom's like, Monica, there's something about the man. He glows because he's so full of positive energy that he is the closest to God that I think we have here on earth. Trust me, you'll see on Tuesday. If you've never met him, do not miss that show. Okay, everybody. Good morning to Pamela. Pamela, we're wrapping up. Kathy, have a wonderful weekend as well to you. So the two things that we always say, it's important for you to know your intrinsic value. Know your value. Okay. When someone tries to block you of how valuable you are, don't let them. You have control over that. Thank you, by the way. So many of you, I hate to wrap up, but we've got to get adjusted. There's 115 of you still on right now. So that means you love the two of us together, which means we'll do this more. I'll have my husband join me more, my friends, all of these things. We also want to get big names, celebrities, but it's, that's not what life is all about. I love to have the celebrities mixed in, but I like the real aspect. And evidently so do you. Almost 300 shows. May 1st, by the way, we have an opening, and my friend Todd's been on our team that he wants to know if we have a location for our 300th show. We don't. So there's going to be a lot of eyes on that show. Do you want us to have the 300th show at your business? If you know someone, let me know right away. info@TheRealMonicaAdams.com. Michelle said, please end the show. I have to pee. Honey, you can go. You don't have to be here for the end. What matters is that I'm still talking. You can go. Go to the bathroom. You have my permission to go. Wonderful to see you both, mama and daughter. Love your energies, real and authentic. Michelle. Bye, Michelle. Go to the bathroom. Lisa, that's exactly it. We are real. We'll always be real for you. All right, everybody. So enjoy your Friday. Enjoy the better weather. Tomorrow, let's see you. Kathy said, Michelle, just being real. Yes. Tomorrow, we'll see you at Ruby Lee. Sunday, I'm going to be at the Rainbows for Kids event. I'm going to take you along with us. We're going to take care of those mamas who have kids going through cancer. And then we'll be back with you Monday morning at 7 a.m. So thank you so much for watching she and I together. Let's see if she gets it right. Remember, go out and be anything you want to be in this world. But in the end,
be nice.
Kind.
It's the same thing. Be kind. Isn't everybody? It being kind, being nice. Same thing.